Sure,
Yeah.
I'm going live on all the platforms,
Are we gonna be on Facebook too?
Facebook and YouTube.
Oh, okay.
And we are live, it looks like. Let me just double check.
Hmm.
Just make sure. Yep, we are live. Yay. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
All right, so we are here. Um, so welcome to ICU devotional conversation that I'm going to have with some of the authors, the co-authors of the book. My name is Crystal Cunningham, and let me just do something real quick. Hold on. All right, hold on. Let me just see how this works. Just give me 1 minute, people. Oh no, not that. How does? No, I don't want that. Sorry. Okay. Oh, okay. That's how we're gonna do it. All right. Just 1 second. All right. Once again, good morning. Welcome to the ICU devotional conversation with some of the co-authors I have here. My name is Crystal Cunningham, and I am the visionary author, the compiler, also known as the midwife and mentor to many. And we're going to be in here today talking about the devotional. This is like part two of our conversation, meeting up with the authors, seeing how they're doing, seeing what they've been working on. And we're going to get into all of the things. But I help visionary women who feel like they are stuck, they are unseen, and they are pretty much out of alignment of their call that God had placed on their life. And to help them really get clear of their vision, get clear of their identity, get clear of their mission and mandate so they can get back into the marketplace. Some of us have been like, some people have been dormant. Some people have been very hesitant about coming into the marketplace. And what I do is help them really get clear so we can build kingdom bold brands and businesses. Okay. So that's we're going to get into today is where are they at? How this all started, and just have a real authentic conversation with some women. Okay. With the women here. I'm also the founder of Crystal Clear Publishing House. Okay. So I help women write their signature stories and turn those stories into brands, like I said, and get them out into the marketplace. So this morning I have with me a few of my co-authors here that I'm super excited. I love hanging out with these ladies. Just that's real talk. We are still in connection. One thing that happened during this time is we really formed real relationships. So we're not here just because we just talking about the devotional. We literally stay in contact in contact with each other and have conversations. All right. So just wanted to bring it to the platform. So I'm going to start with Delvira. You go ahead and introduce yourself and then Sam.
Hi, everybody. I am Dalvia Robinson, and I am what they call the comeback coach. I am your starting over strategist for women over 50 plus. And I'm super excited today to be here.
Yay. All right. And Sam, Samantha, rather.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. I am Samantha Aiti. I am a newly published author and speaker and your favorite intercessor.
Oh, okay. Okay. I like that. Your favorite intercessor. Yes. Yes. So let me just help start this off is this book was birthed out of obedience. It was obedience. It was nothing that we even saw coming. I didn't even see it coming. Being a visionary author, didn't see it coming. We were called into a fast. The Lord had me call a fast, and it was 40 days and 40 nights, y'all. I was like, okay, I'm used to doing like a 1 day fast, 3 day fast, 7 day fast, 21 days. I've done a 40 day fast before, but it had been a long time. And one of the other co-authors that's here that I have actually two other co-authors, Precious S. Brown and Charmaine LaFonde. They're not here at the moment. One is on a sabbatical, one just couldn't be here right now, but they will be returning. Okay. And during that time of me and Precious as Brown getting together, God was pulling on our hearts to actually do a fast. However, he was like, Crystal, I want you to do a 40-40 fast, and I want you to go out there and I want you to make the announcement. And out of obedience, that's exactly what I did. And all of the ladies that you see here and some that are not here, there was even more that was present. They came into, I would say, like the ark. We actually came off of social media. We just hit away. We paused for a minute and we got with the Lord for 40 days and 40 nights. And during that time, like midway through, I know I heard the Lord telling me, okay, now I want you to help them write about that moment that they have been experiencing and us turn it into a devotional. So the devotional is really something new. I've never done a devotional before, but I want to get a little bit into that a little bit further along. But the devotional was not something that I saw, but out of obedience and what we have been doing, fasting, scripture, reading scripture every day, praying every day. I could see how a devotional was the right thing to do. Like, okay, we are in alignment on assignment for what it is that God is calling us to do. So this morning, I want to actually ask the ladies and talk to them this morning. And you go around, and I want Delvera, you could start and talk about, just tell them your name again, just your chapter. What is your chapter and what made you say yes to the project, even if you felt like, oh, I didn't come in here to do that. So go ahead and share with the ladies, the audience, about your portion of the book.
Okay, thanks again, Coach, for allowing us to have this platform shared with you. I came into this, and I'm going to really make it short and sweet and tie it in a bow. I never expected anything like this to ever happen, even though I'm in ministry and in the marketplace. But God saw fit to pull me aside so that I could go into a place of reconstructing. And so, with that being said, my title in this book is called From the Shadows to the Center Stage. And the reason why is because I was hiding due to, like a lot of you out there that may be in ministry in the marketplace, have gone through some crises in your life. And you know that you had a calling on your life, but you kind of pull back from it little by little until you fade into the back. No one really knows it, but mentally you have checked out. But the Lord was beckoning me. He was summoning me to come back to the center stage. And through being a part of this awesome, when I say awesome project, this was definitely an anointed assignment. I truly believe by God for us to come together and share our journey as we went through different things in our lives. So I know that I'm called to the women over 50 plus, but I didn't have clarity because of things that had happened. But due to me going through this process with the 40-40 fast and getting to know even God, even in a deeper way, you heard me. You can be saved, but yet we cannot exhaust the word or the relationship of God. It's always building. And so, with that, that's how I came into this whole journey with all these awesome ladies, is because God called each one of us strategically to be a part of this devotional. And I just hope and pray that all of you out there that would even watch the replay, that would take the opportunity to purchase your book even today. You can go right on there. We'll talk about that more. But I just wanted to say how important it was for me to even align with what God wanted me to do. And that was to join and get connected even the more to Him so I can help other women come out of hiding and take center stage. Back to you, Coach.
Oh, I just love that right there. All right, help other women get back and take center stage. Yes, because the hiding is what happens when we feel that we are out of alignment, right? We're not fully doing what God is calling us to do. We go into some spaces, and I'll talk about that later as well. Going into some spaces, and losing the vision that God has given us. We went into some spaces probably to learn about some strategies, some structure to start building the business. But as we got into those spaces, lost the vision that God gave us, lost our voice. And
Yes.
it makes you like start sitting back and
Mhm.
hiding and fading away. I like that little gift with I think it's one of the Elmo, what is it? I forgot that cartoon character, but he's like going back in the bushes. It's like you going.
Homer Simpson.
Yes, right. So he's going back, and that's what happens, right? You're in the space. You first come in there to learn something, and then
Mhm.
now because others that has a little bit more influence, a little bit more income, a little bit more impact. Now you start shrinking, and you start losing your voice in the vision that God has given you. Um,
Yes.
that happens to many of us today, and that's why we are bringing this book to you, the devotion. This is why we're bringing not just the book, but the message, the message and the mess that came out of it, and how we were able to come out of that, and how we were able to start propelling and getting back in alignment with God. So I like that you talked about that reconnection and realignment as well. Well, I'm going to bring on Sam. Come on, Samantha, tell us a little bit about your chapter and how did you get into this project? And what made you say yes to the project? You might have said yes to the fast. However, what made you say yes to the project? The fasting was something different, but the project, what made you say yes? And talk to the people about that.
Well, hello, good morning. Again, I'm Samantha Aiti. Um, Clearly put, what made me say yes was I was in a season of surrender, and that's just what it was. And personally, if I'm gonna be honest, I struggled with inconsistency. I struggled with identity. I struggled with a lot of things and struggled with not completing something. And I made myself a promise that, I mean, even through the tears, the fears, being scared, like, I don't know how this is going to work, I still decided to say yes. The name of my chapter is called Purpose Ain't Pretty, because it ain't. Okay. During this fast, this 40-day fast, God broke me down in so many ways. He stripped me of everything I knew or everything I thought was supposed to work. It did not work. During those 40 days, he stripped me of everything and everybody, and it was strictly me, him, and these ladies in the morning time. After we would depart from each other, it was just me and God. That's it. So yeah, saying yes to this project was me saying just yes, because I hadn't completed anything and I wanted to feel accomplished on something. I let the enemy taunt me and play with my mind for so long and making me believe that I was something that I was not. And during that fast, God constantly reminded me of who I was and what I'm called to do. So saying yes to the fast was pure obedience. Because if you get the book, get the book. If
Mhm.
you get the book, Purpose Ain't Pretty, my chapter entitled Purpose Ain't Pretty, is talking about how I struggled. And you may be struggling too, but connect with your girl, because I was you. I let the enemy play with me. I let the enemy dance in my house, play in my head, like do everything that I was not supposed to do to get me derailed, just for God to bring me back to the place where I am right now and to get all that He has for me. Because purpose ain't pretty.
Wow. Okay. That was it. I like that you said you wanted to accomplish something, the accomplishment and be consistent. How many of us can identify with that out there that we have been unaccomplished? We start something and we stop something. And I remember Precious talked about that on the previous video. Like we start and we stop, we start and we stop. There's never like this consistency of going through the hard times and really pressing to get to the end of the thing so we can get the result that we are looking for. And maybe the result might not be the result that you had in mind, but what I've had to learn was, if you go all the way to the end, it will yield you a result. What you're going to see is something there that you can work with now. Like, okay, what do I need to probably increase in? And what do I need to take away now? What do I need to add? You see, it's like cooking,
Yes.
baking a cake, right? You start to figure out, okay, when I bake this whole cake, when I let it go through the oven and I bring it out and I put it together and I taste it, okay, it might not look pretty. And I love that you're saying that purpose ain't pretty. It might not look pretty, right? The first time you make a cake, the first time you do something, it's not going to look pretty. But the thing is to accomplish it, to get it done, so you can see where you can work on things and make it better. We never sometime allow ourselves to get all the way to the end. Yes, the enemy distracts us. Yes, he derails us. Yes, but sometimes we also do it to ourselves, self-sabotaging. That is something that a lot of us struggle with, is the self-sabotaging spirit that stops us from really getting all the way to the end. So see, right? How many can y'all identify with that in here, with what I'm saying right now about that self-sabotaging spirit?
Absolutely, because that self-sabotage spirit is real. Because the enemy don't have to do nothing. All he got to do is plant them thoughts, and you will do the work for the enemy, not even aware that you're doing it. And I realized that I did that. I was doing the enemy's work for him. He wasn't working hard. He wasn't working hard over here. He got to work a little harder now. You know what I'm saying? He got to bring the pain and bring the pressure right now. But before, I was doing his job for him.
What about you, Delvera? Can you what about you, like, completing and feeling to have that self-sabotage spirit? Has that been one of your struggles that you've had to war against? Because when we came into the fast, the we were warring for the vision. God clearly had made me say, tell them where you're warring for the vision, to get clear about your vision. And that's where the 40-40 fast came in. But when you're warring for something, you're fighting against something as well. And that's through the fasting, he started to reveal the self-sabotaging spirit. So talk a little bit about that if you can, Delvera. Because everybody likes different things.
Yes, I definitely connect with that. But I want to say that is so true. Self-sabotage in your own life, in your own story, is so real. It's a real thing, because accountability is what we really need. And some of us, no one can tell you anything. In certain areas, we think we know everything. I had to learn that word. You don't know everything. Someone can always impart information. It's just like that cake. You may bake that cake, but it could be something missing. For me, it was some ingredients that was missing. It's not like, even for any woman that's watching me now that is a woman over 50, you feel like, well, it's no need to me continue to try, or I know everything because of my age. Age, that word, or the slogan, age is nothing but a number, is really true, because we can be older, but still lacking in some areas. And we have to be willing, I said, to align yourself with someone who can pour into you. Doesn't matter the age nor the title. We got to really depend now solely on God and allow him to lead you to where you need to be, because accountability is everything. And that's why some people don't make it to the finish line. Because let me be clear, even as a comeback coach, I understand that when the pressure gets too hard, when a coach starts to really dig, start to hit that little button, or hit that little feeling, or hit that little sore there, oh, the person will say ouch and back up and never go through to get all the way healed. And that's what I think has happened to all of us. We faced our fears. We're telling y'all what it really is. Hey, sometimes we can be uncoachable. Have you ever known a coach that can be uncoachable, think they know everything? But that's where we got to get to now. Some of y'all need to just strip yourselves of what you thought you knew. You have to unlearn some things so that you can really move forward whole and not half-heartedly in this season. Get
Mm.
that book, y'all.
I like that you said accountability, and that is one of the things we run from, right? Accountability partnerships. We run from that because if you have somebody that is going to hold you accountable, that means that you have to see it through. And a lot of people do not see things through. But if you get an accountability, and during the time of our fast, we were accountable to each other. There was a lot more women here than even that joined the devotional. There was a lot more women, and waking up till 4 a.m. in the morning was really hard. But one of the things I just want to encourage someone out here right now is accountability is so crucial to your success,
Mm.
because when you are elevating, you need somebody else to speak life into you, to see something that you're not seeing, maybe some behavior, and even not a negative behavior. Sometimes it could be a negative behavior, but even something else for you. They can see the calling on your life. They can see the gift in you and help you keep moving forward towards the goal that you say you want. Um, so accountability in the group was really really helpful. And I know that for me, when I'm in programs, when I'm in leadership, just in different settings, I can see how accountability really does help you, and then it also helps you become more vulnerable to share that weak area of your life, share that weak area. And one of the things, so I want to just talk to right now. I'm just going to kind of just go into our stories. What part, and this is really good, what part of your story felt too messy that maybe you didn't want to share, but you wound up seeing it as being your key message? What part of it? I'm going to start that off. For me, my story was messy because I had left Verizon in 2019, walked away after 20 years, and here it is now. I'm out in entrepreneurship land, right? And for a moment, things were going and heading in the right direction. However, I started to notice in 2023, really like at the end of 2022, there was like a dryness starting to come. It was like, what I was trying to reach for, I couldn't grab it anymore, and I couldn't understand exactly what was happening. And God, in His mercifulness, He was stripping me, He was pruning me, He was crushing me at the same time, while He was also getting me back in realignment. So in 2023, my business, Crystal Clear Communications and Consultant, it was drying up. And when I say it was drying up, it was drying up. Where it impacted everything in my life, my creativity, my home. I was on the verge of losing my place. I lost my car. I'm just going to be honest here. My car was actually repossessed, and I know a lot of people like, oh my God, like really, like you going to say that? See, these are the things that we have to say, because what we don't understand is success is on the other side of that. It's okay to be honest in that way. Success is still on the other side of that. And I lost my dad, and the business was drying up. But little did I know that God was saying to me that this is the reset that you've been asking me for, that you've been praying for. This is what you've asked me for, Crystal. And I have to get rid of some things and reposition you to now propel you out to go out further than where you are right now. Because there was some discouragement, there was some deviation early on in my time. And I like that Delvera talked about it, and I'll connect it to Genesis 3. When the enemy came and spoke to Eve, it was deception, it was subtle, it wasn't anything
Yes.
abruptly where you could feel it or see it. It was making her question what God said to her. Did
Mm,
God say that to
that's
you?
good.
Did he really say that to you? And that was the thing that started to happen for me. did God really call you to be the entrepreneur? Because look how things are not blossoming for you. Look how everything is dwindling for you, right? And everybody else that you're working with, you're helping them be successful, but yet and still, your business is drying up. Your life seems like it's falling apart. And it was, thank God my father passed away. That was a grieving, that was a loss. And I hadn't had a grief like that in a long time. And please, Lord, we just keep it that way for a minute, all right? However, but I was losing the old me as well. It was all of these things happening at once to get me back to his original plan that he had for me. Because when I went into those rooms, when I went into those spaces, one of the things that I did, I started to like get discouraged about what it was that I came in there to do from the beginning because it wasn't validated. So my story actually speaks, which is my chapter, because I have a chapter in here too called the Divine Reset. My chapter is where God met me, like he did Hagar in the wilderness. She was running. She was running from carrying the baby. She was running from Sarah. She was running from them. She was like, I didn't ask for this. And how many of you, and like myself, I said, God, I didn't ask to be the entrepreneur. I didn't ask for this responsibility. I didn't ask. Yes, I did ask to come out of Verizon. Yes, I did. I'm not gonna lie. I did ask for that. I did. I would, because I knew something else. I tried to see my gift somewhere. So I did ask for that. However, didn't know exactly what the cost would be.
Mm-hmm.
So my story is speaking about the divine reset, which many of us in here are sitting in this book is about a divine reset. So Delvira, go ahead and talk to them about your chapter in here. All right, go ahead.
Wow, that was such an amazing story, and I'm glad that you shared it. Well, my story is coming from the opposite of that. You were in the marketplace, and I was in the ministry, and my messiness came from a place of how can you go from a person that is an encourager? I believe I came out the womb encouraging people, but now at that time, I ended up being very discouraged in my own life because of the things that came upon me. And as you said, you didn't ask for it. God called me out of the marketplace when I was 32 years old. He told me he wanted me to go in full-time ministry. So the whole entire time I was ministering to people, going to the hospitals and visiting the sick and shut in and feeding the homeless and all of these things. And life hit me hard because I ended up being divorced, an empty nester, having to relocate my entire life to a place that no one knew me except for my father. And I became very discouraged. And let me also add, one who prophesies, one who preached to others and tell them that it's going to be okay. Just have faith. I found myself feeling hopeless. Yeah, I said it. I said it. And I believe that's some of the problems today with people in ministry is that we were taught to never let them see you sweat. Always be poised, wear that mask, and everybody would think that life is okay. But it showed up in my life in a way where I started to shrink back. I even questioned my calling for a long time. I started to go into places in the church and I would sit in the back because I didn't even want to be in the front seat. I didn't even want anybody to know what my name was, the title per se. I would just tell them, hi, my name is such and such, because of the shame and the fear. And just like Elijah, in my story, we all know that Elijah was one that was out there prophesying and doing all that God had called them to do. And I found myself in Elijah. Now, here it is, after he had his little struggle with Jezebel, he went into hiding, as the story goes. And just as Elijah did, so did I. I went into hiding. Most of you know me, you know that I've shared this on my page. And yes, you saw me dancing and smiling, but deep down inside, my mess was still there just kind of like welling up on the inside because I was hurt. And I asked God, I said, well, Lord, in somewhat of a way, I said, God, I couldn't believe in just a blink of an eye, my whole life just changed. But God is a restorer. He showed me that. And that's why I'm here today sharing this story in this book about not hiding anymore, coming to the center stage. I thank God for his redemption on this day. But more than that, I'm just grateful that I'm here to share. And I'm hopefully that this story that I'm sharing, it will help some of you that are in ministry and bleeding while you're leading to come out of hiding, get the help that you need, get accountability. And another thing, this is to conclude my little portion, is it's okay to be naked sometime and tell people the truth.
Wow.
And we have to do that in this season if you want to be successful in marketplace and in ministry.
That was good. That was powerful right there with sometimes you have to be naked. And how many of us have been afraid to be naked because we're feeling like others are going to judge us? We all have been there. We all have been there. But the beauty of this is we all have been there and gotten through it. And I like that you said also, being in ministry, bleeding while being in ministry and while you're leading as well. That's why we got to get healed. We have to get healed, and we have to go through the process of being healed. So don't feel like you're alone. Delvira is here. I'm here. Samantha's here. All the rest of us are still here. Even though my two co-authors not, they here with us in spirit. I can already hear Precious in my ear and Charmaine over here in this ear right here. I can already hear them while they're not here because that's how connected we are. All right.
Yes.
So I really appreciate you sharing that with the audience here today, that your key the key message for you is that you can come back, you can start all over, come from out of the hiding, come from out of that shadow, get yourself together, find a safe space. We're a safe space for many of you that are out there today. But we're going to talk to Sam. I want you to talk to them today about your story, Sam. So go your chapter here in the ICU devotional. Let the people know about what your chapter is and what's the message for, and what was so messy about it that you might not have wanted to share with the people.
Well, it all was messy. I mean, it was so saying yes to the fast, yes to the devotional, it was a struggle. It was a real struggle. But the messiness, for me, all of these other great women that was a part of the fast and partook in the actual devotional, my story is not like them. They all done been out in the marketplace. They've all been out in ministry. They've been doing the daggone thing. And for whatever reason, they got their setbacks. Me, I never started. The enemy kept me in a place to where I just wouldn't start. Just like Dalvera said, while she was in ministry, she was having life. I'm a single mom, okay? My kids are 20, 17, and I have a 6-year-old son. And it was right around the time, right before I got pregnant with my son, is when I actually connected with Crystal, because I too used to work at Verizon. So that's where we actually connected at. So I felt the pull, I felt the tug, and connected with her and worked with her so many times. And Crystal, sidebar, I love you so much for continuing to let me come back. I just know that big guy and the Holy Spirit, like, go get her. She ain't gonna come on her own. You gotta go get her. But what I love about Crystal is, whether she wants to or not, she's going to be obedient. And
Yes.
that's what we need.
Yes.
That's what I needed. God knew what I needed. He knew I needed somebody, because I'm rough around the edges. Okay. And I struggle with that too. Okay, because I don't know, people, I punch and pray. And that's just what it is. That's just as real as I can, bring it. God made me like this. I love people. I love God, but don't play with me. And that's just that. Don't play with me. So I feared being accepted because these people out here knowing these streets, we can squabble up. They know we can get in the field and I'll pray later. I'm going to pray later. But that's just me. And I used to draw back because, oh, these people know I'll get in the field with them. How they gonna sit up there and try to listen to me and I'm talking about God? And the Holy Spirit really had to jack me up, and he was like, that's who you are. Like, just as strong as you are in the natural, you're stronger in the spiritual. And I had to take hold of that thing. Like, I had to accept it. Like, this is, no matter what I did to dumb myself down, it don't work and don't feel natural. So I'm animated, and that's just what it is. I've been animated for 41 years. I've been animated, and I don't see that changing. But I love the way God made me, because in my mess is this. I was afraid to take the step. These women created that space, and they saw something in me. And it's something about getting connected with the right people, that they will see things in you that you don't see in yourself. I knew all along that Crystal knew what it was, because we would have conversations. She'd be like, well, you're supposed to be doing such and such and such. And she'd just keep on with her next thing that she got going on. And I'd be like, so you just gonna let her drop nuggets like that, and I'm just supposed to. But she wasn't doing nothing but confirming. God used her as that catalyst. Like, he used that to, like, okay, I need you to go get my people, the ones that are stuck, the ones that are scared, the ones that are stagnant, the one that suffers with the imposter syndrome, because that's who I was. I'm like, I don't have one of them shawl things on me. Well, I'm an intercessor, but I'm an intercessor that's going to stand in the middle of the floor and bring, heaven down on earth. I don't got all of that. And God told me, you don't need it. And I was like,
"Ooh, that's good."
That's them. Because I need you to be you, in your roughness, in your ruggedness. And so I want somebody to know that even if you're standing at the edge, because just like my story, Purpose Ain't Pretty, I speak about Moses. Now, who can identify with Moses? Moses had how many excuses for God? Yeah. Well, God, I can't talk like this. And God, like, well, here go Aaron, here go your mouthpiece. God already had it all set up for him. But I feel in my heart of hearts, Moses didn't feel qualified, because he knew what God knew about him, and he knew what the people knew about him. I felt like he didn't feel like he was qualified, because he had done already did his dirt and ran from it. And that's how I felt. I felt like I done did my dirt, and now who am I supposed to bring out? But we saw what Moses did. Okay.
Oh, yes.
If you stuck in your purpose, I got a whole bunch of steps for you. I got steps that God laid on me, that he walked me strategically through it, to immense to Purpose Ain't Pretty, because it's not in the mess. You always have a message.
In the mess.
That was, listen, something you said was excuses. We can all identify with the excuses, the making excuses, and the comparison, like Moses did. He obviously was seeing someone else that said, I don't sound like them. I don't look like them. I don't talk like them. I don't walk like them. You talked about that, Sam. You talked about, like, I don't pray like them. I don't put the shawl on. I don't do all the things. And one of the things in this devotional, you will see that we all have different characteristics. We all have different personalities. We have all different brands and approaches of how we are going to do ministry in the marketplace, right? And that's something that really stops a lot of people from showing up and really embracing and accepting their call. But like pressure, I mean, like Samantha is saying to you this morning, purpose ain't pretty because purpose ain't pretty in your world. Purpose ain't pretty in my world. You gotta like understand that this is an individual thing. And you, if you stay authentic to who you are, that will help resonate and bring the people that you're supposed to minister to, that you're supposed to lead in the marketplace. And that I love the book of Exodus. I love it because I just hearing Moses be like, I ain't going. I don't want to do it. Go,
All right.
go. Like, no.
That's not what you telling me to do. It was almost like, get somebody else to do it.
And you know, now that we're sitting here, this is a real conversation, you all. So one of the things is like we didn't see this coming. So this is really it's I'm laughing because I'm like, God, you just so strategic at what you do. He told us to call the fast, but yet and still he had something else planned while we were in the fast. Same thing. Like I'm gonna burn the bush so I can bring this to me. But however, when he get close enough and we start having a conversation, I'm going to tell him what my real plans, what the plans are. And because when God speaks a thing, when God speaks his word is being conceived. It impregnates you. So no matter how much you try to run from the calling, you can't. You cannot run anymore.
There's a pull.
Come
There's
on.
a pull that will not leave you alone, and it will be there for years. No matter if you try to do whatever you think you're supposed to do, God will pull you right back around to like, nope, right here. I need you here.
That's why we talk about going around the mountain. Like you're going around the mountain because you won't stop and go in the direction that he's telling you to go.
That's right.
You're afraid. You're like, well, for many of us, and let's have this. For many of us, we haven't seen anybody in our circle, families, do anything of what we're doing right now. This is very unfamiliar. So we don't have anyone
uncharted territory.
Yeah, so we don't have anyone that we've been able to lean on or see in our own lineage.
Yes.
Not that we don't see you here in the marketplace. Like if we can go on social media, we can pull up the phone, we can see other coaches, other influence publishers, authors, all of the things, right? But that's like far reach. That's like too far, right? However, we like, well, I didn't see my mother do that. I didn't see my father do that. I didn't see my granny do that. I didn't see my grandpa do it. I didn't see my aunts and uncles. I ain't even got no girlfriends or anything. I just don't see it. So this is why during this time of fasting that we've been together, that God had to clear out the internal clutter that has now attached itself to us as we were moving along and strip us and get rid of those things off of us. And he said, I see you. I see what I put in you. I know what I put in you. I don't care about what they said. I'm telling you, you can do this. I'm telling you, you can write the book. I'm telling you, you can have the brand. I'm telling you, you can start the business. I'm telling you, you can do the ministry. I'm telling you that you could be in the marketplace. I'm telling you, you could be the first millionaire. I'm telling you, you can make the 6 figures. I'm telling you, because I know what that purpose seed, because see, purpose is a seed inside of you that starts to grow. And when you take that seed and you put it in the right environment, it starts to grow and it can't help but start coming out. No matter how much you're trying to contain it, no matter how much you're trying to hold on to keeping it in this space, it's now doing what it's supposed to do because purpose coming up. Purpose. Because in Romans, he says, those that love me and those that are called, there is purpose inside of them. They are being called because of the purpose that's inside. And when I tell everyone, the story is the seed. Our stories is the seed that he's given us. And the beauty of it, see, we got to stop looking at our circumstances and our situations that we've gone through in a negative. And that's what I want. This is what God, the mandate that I have on me, is to help you shift from the shame to shine, so you can see it in a different light and see how you can start utilizing that thing to now help other people. And he said, I'm going to make it so that I'm going to make it profitable for you. It's not just purposeful, it's profitable. And I'm going to give you something that you can now turn into profit from thing.
Yes.
The enemy meant for good. He said, I'm going to turn, what the enemy meant for bad, I'm going to turn it and make it for good for you. So our stories have built out now brands, have now built out businesses, is building them. And even though we might not be fully, you haven't fully been all the way in there, it's happening. The more you go at it every day, the more you water it, water your seed, the more you cultivate it every day, you will start seeing it produce. Because Psalms 1 tells us, he tells us that we're going to be like a tree planted. And in its season.
Come on.
It's coming out.
That's it.
It's going to produce. He said, whatever you put your hands to, it will prosper. That's a promise from the Lord. But you got to go through. See, the seed got to go in the ground. It got to die. So we came in the back. And we have to die like Jesus did. Jesus died and he rose, though. He died, but he rose. He got back up.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So you have to die to itself. You got to die to that way of thinking. You got to die to that behavior. You got to die to it. And when you die to it, it's going to produce now the original thing that is going to be profitable and purposeful and powerful.
That's good.
This is what this devotion is doing.
That's good. That is so good. That is so good.
So, Davira, how has you sharing your story shifted you in ministry and business? And we're not just writing devotionals, we're birthing movement. So what's your movement? What's going on with you today?
My movement, first of all, I'm going to stick with just what you asked me. The movement has been so powerful because I got out of Egypt. Come on now. I got out of that old slave mentality, that stinking thinking. I had to unlearn some things so that I could get clarity about what my mission was about. Okay. I had to understand that I was called not only in ministry, but in the marketplace for women over 50, starting over and rebuilding, not in just one area, but so many things. What about the singles, right? I'm thinking about everybody as a whole, because even when ministry takes place, we're dealing with the whole family, right? So that's where I'm at. I am the starting over strategist, honey, all over every social media platform that I could possibly be on. And I'm sharing the wealth of knowledge that has been imparted unto me through even being a part of the ICU devotional and the 40-40 fast. So that's pretty much my take on it. And I'm just loving the transformation that's taking place in my life.
Wow. Yes, because when I first met you, Delvira, I was like, okay, I didn't even know who she was. Just to be honest with y'all, I have wrote another book called Girl See the New You. And that's how me and you connected when you ordered the book. And the woman that's sitting here today is not the woman that I met last year. Well, actually, you got the book, I guess, in 2023 or 2024, whenever it was last year. You're not the same. And this is what the obedience has done, the fasting has done, the writing, the partnership, the accountability has done. If you are wanting to see yourself, that next version of you, you have to connect with women that are here like this, that are doing the work. And I'm telling you, Delvira doesn't look the same. She doesn't sound the same. She sounds more confident. She's clear on her message. All of that happened here with being a part of the fast. And then not just the fast, because we had to take it further. God was like,
yes,
you have to do mentorship. So one of the things that I did with them is, even after the 40 days of fasting, I did mentorship. It had a mentorship, and then it was the manuscript, and then the marketing. And this is what you are seeing today from these two women here and the other ones that are there. You will see a difference in them. I see them more confident. I see them more courageous, more vocal. They're out there. I see my girl Sam on TikTok. She is praying up a storm and connecting and talking about purpose ain't pretty, helping other women really discover and find their purpose. Delvira is out there every day in the marketplace, letting us women know that, and letting us, me too, that's over 50, girl, you got to come back. Girl, you don't have to stay where you are. You can start all over again. And I just want to just acknowledge that today. So, well, tell me, Sam, how are you integrating your faith into what it is that you're doing and not watering it down? How are you showing up unapologetically? And how are you doing that? What's helping you? How are you bringing your faith into it and what it is that you're doing?
Purpose is such a pretty word. Everybody wants purpose until they realize it ain't pretty, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I told you, Crystal, I didn't want to do this devotional. I did not. I tried to give all types of excuses because my money was funny, my change was strange, and I knew Crystal about her coins, right? So
That's right.
I tried to find an exit. Like, yo, if I text her and be like, I don't really got this money, she gonna let me go. Y'all, the lady hit me back like, that's fine. Do it when you can. I was like, what? No, that's not what she was supposed to say. She was supposed to go ahead, boot me out the group, go ahead, remove me from the group chat, and be like, okay, you don't got your money, you can't
Next.
go further. I was like, all right, cool. All right. So I'm gonna just go ahead and be like, all right. But I surrendered. I didn't want to, but it was still something on the inside of me pulling and tugging for me to do it. So just as I did then, I just surrendered, said yes, and catwalk, and that's what I do now. TikTok videos, I'm just gonna do it. You just gotta do it. Because if you wait on self is gonna keep you right where you at. Your mind is gonna try to play tricks on you. You have to control the mind, or hopefully allow the Holy Spirit to dwell within your thoughts. But if you wait on yourself, or you say, I'm waiting for this, or you waiting for the right moment, you'll never get there. 20 years will pass you by and you'll realize I did nothing. Everybody talk about purpose, but you just got to look around. I worried about purpose and tried to figure out, just as many other people tried to figure out, like, what am I called to do? But the very thing that you called to do is not the thing that you want to do.
Talk about it.
It don't be what you want to do, but it's the purpose God has for you. So, Crystal, you going through what you going through. Delvira, you going through what you going through. I'm going through what I'm going through, just to lead us back right here to this moment. And I had a thought earlier, like, gosh, that fast did serve so many purposes. It served so many purposes, like so much. It was spiritual, surgical surgery, literally. Like the things we did in those 40 days, people paid them therapists top-notch dollars for what they did.
I know about it.
They paid top, trust me, I did intensive therapy too. So yeah, I paid good money for that. But what we did in those 40 days, what God did in those 40 days does not equate to nothing. Nothing. Like when I say it was just an amazing experience, I mean, it was warfare. We all experienced it, but to bring us back to this moment and how he used that fast to birth out each one of our own specific purposes is amazing.
Oh, this is great. So, how are you actually packaging your story, your chapter, Delvira, and using it to create more impact and income in the marketplace? What are you doing? What have you been doing?
What I've been doing is, again, as you know, social media platforms, I've been sharing the message, but I've also have a call to action where you can get my, at no cost, a starting over ebook that I've created for women over 50 plus. So that's what I've been doing. That's how I've been sharing the word and also bringing that call to action so I can build that community of women 50 over 50 plus.
Mm, so that's good. So that's how you're serving people in the marketplace, serving God's people is through still writing and coaching, what it sounds like, right? That's what
Yes.
you're out here doing. And for you, Samantha, what do you have going on? How are you taking what it is that you have created through the ICU, through Purpose Ain't Pretty? Is there anything that you are doing specifically? Because, like I said, we all have individual things that we might be doing today moving forward to keep propelling and moving us out into the marketplace.
Yes. So after Purpose Ain't Pretty, I kept hearing pathway to purpose, pathway to purpose, pathway to purpose. Like I would wake up and that would be one of the first things I hear. But I am in the process, the finishing phases of my mentorship. Purpose Ain't Pretty mentorship.
Woo!
Congratulations. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah. So
Yes.
gonna be packaged with, kind of piggyback on some of the things we did during the fast. So there's like devotional, there's a workbook, there is a fasting and prayer journal, and I'm getting ready to package the last portion of it, which is the actual pathway to purpose blueprint.
All
I'm
right.
so excited, y'all, because I ain't
Awesome.
never done nothing, okay? But when I say God kept me, I like the Holy Spirit, like, yep. I mean, I would find myself working tirelessly on this computer, just trying to get it. And finally, I'm almost at the end of
Good
So
job.
let
Congratulations.
me say this. So for the woman, the ICU devotional is a leadership edition, and it's for the woman who thought she failed, missed the mark, feels unqualified, but she's still called, seen, and sent by God. So even though you might be hearing some from some more experienced women that we've already been in entrepreneurship, we've already stepped into the marketplace. You have Samantha that came along and was an aspiring author and aspiring entrepreneur, and now she is getting her offer together. She's putting that together, and that's some of the things that we worked on behind the scene in the mentorship. So this is what you're going to get, getting clear on your message through the Ideal You framework that I have, helping them really get clear on their message so now they can understand what their methodology is, which is basically your framework, your secret sauce, and your formula of how you get to that end result, right? And
Yes.
then you turn it into a movement that
Mhm.
becomes a movement for you, which actually starts developing your brand in the marketplace. That actually starts developing that. So this is what they have gotten through the ICU devotional. And what I'm saying to you is that through us connecting and God's plan and just yielding to him, all of this has been birthed out of it. These women have now, they've got their message, they have their movement, they have their methodology. They know how they're doing what it is that they've been called to do. They know their mandate. They have their marketing so they can go out and start building. And some of you might have stopped building. Some of you have, become discouraged. And we're here to reignite you and let you know to get reactivated back in the marketplace. Because let me tell you something. I know the world might have told you that you don't belong in the marketplace, but I'm here to tell you this morning, today, right now, wherever you hear this message, you belong in the marketplace. See, the enemy has been trying to keep you from the marketplace because the marketplace is where you're going to be so impactful. You're going to have the influence, you're going to inspire someone, and you're going to make the income that you need to build and start working on the vision that God has given you. Because let me just say something to you, the job ain't going to do it. The job is not the solution. It's partial. It's here to help you. And I'm not knocking anyone because I'm right now back in the workforce. Sometimes the job will God will put us back in the workforce just to give us some stability for the minute while we're working on the vision. That's it. But when you step into the marketplace, one of the things that you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to dictate the income of what you want to make and how much you want to get paid for something. Now that is going to fund the kingdom of heaven's vision. And this is why right now I know you're feeling that tug. I know you're feeling that pull. And I know you're hearing the whisper that there is more to your life. There is more than this. There's more to you to discover. But you have to yield to God. You have to be trusting in Him enough to pause like we did. We paused. We said, okay, you know what? I've tried everything. I've been trying some things and some things I haven't been trying and I want to try. I want to get activated like how Sam was like, I want to really fully get activated in this. I want to come out of being inconsistent and be consistent and see the finish of a thing. The reason why you are finding the opposition so great is because you are so needed. You are needed. Don't let your thoughts and the enemy and your own self stand in the way. But if you move out the way, and I love what Delvira was saying, like, and we've been speaking is we have to stop overthinking and just start executing. That's what Sam was saying. Just execute. Don't even give it a second thought. Don't think about it being pretty because we want the aesthetic of it, right? We want to show up.
That's
Look,
it.
this is what we're talking about. Purpose ain't pretty. Is that you want
That's it.
show up looking like this, right? But yeah, we knew we was coming on, so of course, we had some time to get ourselves together.
Yes.
However, when there is a burning message with the sleep in your eye, the bonnet on your head, I'm not really for the
Or
bonnet.
not,
Come on.
or not having a ritual.
Scarf. Can you get a scarf, ladies?
Try to get in there.
Right. You might have to just jump in here and say what God is calling you to say. And this is why it's so important for you to find your platform that you're not going to feel intimidated to come on and be authentically you. And at some point, you just got to be like, okay, you know what? I'm coming on all of them authentically.
Come on.
But maybe you need to find TikTok might be yours. Maybe the talk might be it. Maybe IG might be yours. Maybe Facebook, maybe LinkedIn, whichever one that's going to help you start really getting your message out, getting your movement out, getting your brand out, getting you out into the marketplace. Find it, own it, dominate it, make it yours.
That's it.
I was watching Power Moves last night again on Netflix, and this is with Shaquille O'Neal and Allen Iverson, right? And they are taking over Reebok. And Shaquille O'Neal is trying to bring his son along, his oldest son, to be a part of the business and the legacy. And one of the things that he said over and over, he was saying, my name is what matters. My name is what matters. Your name is what matters. That's all. Your name.
That's good right there.
If it's been a little tarnished, one thing about something tarnished, you can just wipe it and start cleaning it off and making it crystal clear again.
Come on.
And get that streaks out of it. Get that residue. That's what the blood of Jesus did for us. Yes. He washed us. He got us clean.
Mm-hmm.
So for the woman who's sitting on her story, ladies, because she thinks It's either she's too broken, it might be boring, or too behind. What would you tell her right now? I'm gonna start with you, Delvera. What would you tell her right now?
It's time to be vulnerable because you're miserable where you are. You got to go from broken to being blessed. Feels better on the other side. That's all I want to say.
Wow, that's powerful. What would you tell us, Sam?
I'm sorry. What was the say it one more time? What was the question?
For the woman who's sitting on her story because she thinks either she's too broken, it might be too boring, or she's too behind. What would you tell her right now?
Stop thinking.
Mm.
Stop thinking. Stop thinking and just do. Just move.
Mm.
Because God can't redirect you if you're not moving.
Mm.
You got to be doing something. I remember I was in a place like, Lord, Deuteronomy 8:18 keeps telling me that, if I remember you being the Lord, my God, that is you, that you will give me the ability to get wealth. He said, but you got to do something. You got to give God something to bless. You got to move. Naked, scared, afraid, ashamed, reluctant, whatever it may be, just move. And I promise you, when you make that one step, God gonna make about 10 of them. He gonna turn it all the way around for you.
Well, y'all heard it from some of the authors here with the ICU devotional. Like I said, this devotional is specifically for the woman who think that she has failed. She has missed the mark. You might feel unqualified, but I'm here to tell you that you are called, you are seen, and God is going to keep nudging at you, keep whispering that you are the one called to lead.
Amen. That's right.
For me, I'm going to tell you, you can do it. Rise up. Go out there and just dominate and just do the thing because it's in you. If you want to see the next version of you, if you want to see that vision that you keep seeing internally, that good vision, then it does require you to do three things. You have to be, you have to do in order to have it. Okay? You have to be that woman. You have to do the things of that woman, of the visionary, in order to have the things of the visionary. So I'm your girl. I'm your coach. I am Crystal Cunningham. I'm the visionary author of this book that I am super proud of. And I don't say that lightly, but I'm super proud of this book for several reasons. This has been my first book where I have personally have designed the cover and did the internal work on it too. Our book is gorgeous.
Yes, it is.
Outside to the inside, these ones have been able to, what I've helped them do was extract where they can take their own book, they can take their own chapter out of the book and literally just extract it out. And now it becomes their own ebook for them to move forward, for them to continue on building their brand and their message in the work. I don't do any more black and white books, so it is a colorful. This is why it's the ebook. You can download it, but we are going to be getting it in a paperback pretty soon in the next couple of weeks. Available for you to order the paperback as well, so you can have it, throw it in your pocketbook, pick it up and read it whenever you need it, whether it be on your phone or if you like me. I still like books. Like I like the tangible books. So I am making that available for you. And you can connect with all of us here. You can go to the devotional is where you can pick it up is icudevotional.com. They actually have their own as well. So you can go there as well. Y'all want to put your links in the comments for the people to grab your copy because like I said, they all have their own chapters in here. And for the ladies that are not here, I'm just going to give you the rundown of our table of contents, which my chapter is the Divine Reset. Precious S. Brown is Rooted in Trust. And Charmaine LaFonde, her chapter is From Hiding to Healing. And then you have Delvira and Samantha. And as they told you, Delvira is The Great Comeback. And Samantha is Purpose Ain't Pretty. And let me just say this to you. What else this book will do for you? This book will actually help you reconnect. Okay. This book will actually help you reconnect, you build your relationship with God, first of all, and then with yourself. It's going to help you get back in realignment with your divine assignment. It's going to reactivate you by hearing our stories and our strategies and the solutions that God had gave each of us, okay? And then it's going to help you release whatever heavy burdens that you have, whatever shame that you have, whatever it is that you're carrying that is stopping you from showing up and being successful and being in the marketplace. And it's going to help you rise, okay? It's going to help you rise in your thinking. It's going to help you rise in your behavior. It's going to help you rise and get to the next level. It's going to help you come from out of that darkness. It's going to help you step into fully who God is calling you to be in this hour. So I want to encourage you, go ahead and grab your copy today. Grab your copy right now. Like I said, from either one of us, it doesn't matter, just as long as you get this book in your hand. Any final words that you have for the people, Delvira and Samantha? Y'all go ahead.
It's now or never. It's time to rise to the occasion. It's time to show up in your life as your authentic self. For the women that is over 50 plus, listen, we have more years behind us than we do in front of us. And what better time is it than now to be your authentic self? Girl, you better come out of hiding and take center stage.
What you have for them, Sam?
So you may be stuck from in between the pit and purpose, pain and purpose. Just know that there is pain in your purpose.
Well, there you have it.
There's purpose in your pain. I'm sorry. There's purpose in your pain. Use that. That is fuel. That is what God is using to get you to where you got to be. You just got to start. You
so
just
purpose in your pain, you say. Purpose in your pain.
Yeah. You just got to start. Just move. Just take one step. Say a prayer and take a step, and He's going to do the rest.
Well, there you have it. Thank you so much for joining us today. Once again, this is the conversation of the ICU Devotional. Thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your day.